Mike, when you kind of look at the overview of this road trip, I know we've talked so much about the hitting. Is one of the things that stands out to you that you've had these 3 quality starts in a row to finish this trip, and you're seeing your starters kind of look more like maybe you expected them to look like?
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at this trip. You want to start from the positive slant, which I tend to. 3 quality starts in a row, and won the first game of the series, and we'd have taken our chances in the next 2 games if we knew we were only going to give up 4 runs. So really good effort by Carlos today. More than kept us in it. Good game plan coming into the series. Game plan's only as good as the execution, and the guys really executed very well. Jack, Waino, and Carlos. So a lot of positives from a starting pitching standpoint, and just wasn't good enough collectively to bring it home today.
Today was statistically the best start that Carlos has had since you've been the manager of the Cardinals. It was since July of 18 was his last start this strong. What did you see from him today, especially in terms of escapability and not letting those innings maybe get fast on him like Kiz was just talking about, or maybe build up like he's had 1 or so in his last couple starts?
Yeah, I think the body of work for Carlos has been pretty impressive. The couple innings, to your point, has been kind of the Achilles heel for him, but today he was fantastic. Didn't have a lot of jams. I mean, Avila hits a 2-out double and hit a little 2-iron out there. So just not that part wasn't great, but Carlos has been really good, sharp today. Threw a lot of strikes, multiple pitches, a lot of movement to his ball. I think he had 8 ground ball outs. I thought he threw the ball very, very well.
Zach Silver, MLB.com.
Mike, I'm curious what you made of those diving plays by Kiz today. Obviously, 1 saves a run, and the second one a little less heralded, just keeping a ball foul when it's going to beat the shift. I mean, is that an example of a guy who sees opportunities and trying to make the most of them, or is this just him doing his daily what he does and brings to the yard every single day?
Yeah, I mean, I was scratch and claw. I mean, you look over in general and you see guys diving all over the place. This is a group that's gonna go play the game, full out. And I love the play down the line with Kiz, both plays. It was a heck of an athletic play on the relay throw, and then also, he knows the shift's taking place and that ball has a chance to come back fair, and he's just determined. I thought it was fantastic. I love the effort to it, and so I thought he did a nice job today.
I guess how do you see him kind of, not the challenge, I guess maybe, but like not getting the consistent reps and getting a start today? And he has a double, he hasn't actually gets hit, he makes those plays. I guess how do you see him going through not getting the regular rep, but still getting the chance to kind of not lose out on that when he does get his time?
Yeah, I mean, he's been in this position for the last couple of years. You grow into it. Clearly, like to play every day and more often, but we've got established guy back there, and it's really about, and Kiz does a great job of it, as do a lot of our bench guys. Dean has come off and had some good at bats, and Sosa's contributing when he's got his opportunities, and it's just about a lot of the work on a daily basis and the mental preparation and the physical preparation with it, and Kiz does a very good job of that.
Garrett Gold, St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Mike, you've seen a lot of baseball games, managed a lot of baseball games. When you have the bases loaded against a 3-time Cy Young winner in the first inning and don't cash in, do you go, all right, I kind of know how this script goes? You miss a chance early against a starter like that, they come few and far between.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You want to get any guy early. You get a guy on his heels a little bit that is established like him. It's obviously a competitive advantage. I did feel like, we were going to be able to do some things, but he got better as he went. He was effective, and we were able to take a lot of good at bats and got his pitch count up to some degree and got him out of there. But yeah, it would have been nice to have been able to cash in after some really good at bats in the first against him for sure.
You'd said, the pitching coming around and starting to get those quality starts, that consistency, that seems to be the theme probably a little bit, or the theme word of this road trip. Is the other side of the coin the offense then? The lack of a timely hitting, maybe the lack of sustained pressure?
Yeah, I think there's some things to do with that, but yeah, I think we'd all recognize that's part of it. I think that's a fair assessment. You know, we're getting into that rhythm, and we're getting close to what that rhythm looks like for how we like to play. And, you know, it's our pitching. We played improved defense. You know, we had a little miscue here or there the last couple of days, but they happened. But we've gotten that starting pitching that groove, working ahead, good rhythm. Defense has been making the plays for the most part. Had some good defense today. You alluded to Kiz. And then also, you know, hand in hand with that, typically we'd like to have the timely hitting or the which allows us to be able to, you know, typically play 3 games that have outcomes. We win by a comfortable margin, we win by a close margin, or we lose by a close margin. And, you know, those are usually, you know, in our favor, 2 out of 3. So just weren't able to get that those timely hits, as you alluded to, and weren't able to push and scratch and face some pretty good pitching, but still didn't execute when we had an opportunity to take a shot and get a lead or tie the game.
You guys have been unfailingly supportive of Matt as he's searched for consistency and tried to line up the exit velocity and all the things we've talked about with production. This game finds him. I mean, he can't hide from it, can he?
It's just, you know, you're right there. You can. I mean, it's just, I literally scratch my head because, you know, this is a guy that I turned to Ollie, you know, put a good swing on a ball in a windy day, and goes right to the track. And it's like, man, it doesn't feel like there's any park in America that, you know, whether conditions are going to get him or where he hits it in the stadium, and then he comes up with the bases loaded, you know, they're in the 8th, and you know, puts a good swing on it, lines out right to the guy. You know, that ball's in the gap. You know, we're having a different conversation, but ifs and buts, right? And we do recognize the Howie production. You know, we had a great dialogue with this group, you know, early in the road trip, and it's just you know, sharing how to best answer that question with you, right? You know, like, because sometimes there's not an answer to it, you know, and it's very rare when I don't have at least some answer. That's part of my obligation to you, but I don't have a great answer for, you know, any more that Matt Carpenter can do. And, you know, like I said, if he was taking at bats that weren't looking good and timing was not right, he's rolling over and getting beat and, you know, doing some of the things that are indicative of a guy not swinging the bat well, you could, you know, have a hard time running him back out there. But gosh darn, you know, the guy's hitting balls square, and we do recognize the shift as a part of it. But man, so it's definitely frustrating for him, and we'll continue to see what it looks like.
This is my last question. I mean, is that kind of the dilemma you're in? Is you keep playing him because you're pleased with the results and you like some of the at-bats, but by playing him, you also know that the game is going to find him. And if he struggles, it's only going to maybe deepen it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's the dilemma. And you know, Skip Bertman, he's the old coach at LSU. And I remember hearing this when I was younger as a coach. You know, it's something we all know, but I think about it a lot. You know, in my job, baseball is a game of chances are proposition. And every single decision you make, every single thing we do every single day creates opportunity to slide that chances are proposition in our favor. And one of the chances proposition are just common sense, right? You know, complex game, make it easy. You hit it hard, you got the best chance of getting hits. You know, I mean, 100 years ago when I was scouting and evaluating and working with players and, you know, young old, you know, hitting coach, what'd you try to do with guys? Get a good pitch hit it hard. And gosh darn, when you evaluate players at an amateur level, what are you looking for? Right now it's quantified with exit velocity and barrel rate. Used to just be, man, you don't want to be in the infield when Matt Holliday hits because you'll get knocked out if you're not paying attention because he really hits it hard. What does that mean? Well, gosh, it means less time to react for the defense, right? So, yeah, that's the dilemma. Long answer to your question, and not to talk in circles, but yeah, that's the complete dilemma. You know, what do? You sit a guy that you know is hitting the ball hard. But we also recognize that people expect results out of this organization and this team, and we expect them as well. But you know, we also know over the course of our experiences what tends to work over a period of time, and we also know we're in April.
A lifetime ago, I covered Skip Bertman for three and a half years.
Really?
He brought that up. Yeah, he brought that up quite a bit. It's also why he kept the toilet in the dugout for guys to flush. The chances are get rid of
Yeah,
it.
you got the flush the toilet. You guys, got the thing that,
Mhm.
refocus you and refresh you and let it go. And, at this level, we trust what we do, and we stay with a process that we know works. And this game is, it's a beautiful game, and it's a hard game, and that's why we love it. We love the fact that it can be a challenge, and, Matt's been challenged, we've been challenged, and we'll be back for more starting on Friday at home.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks,
We
Derek.
can swap
Appreciate
Skip stories another time.
it. I look forward to that.
Brendan Schaefer, KMOV TV.
Mike, you alluded to it with Carpenter in that you're not seeing him take the kind of at-bats that would give you cause for concern. Is it almost make it a little more difficult on you on a daily basis, befuddling that you're not able to understand the reasons, and he's not giving you any reason to sit him or to change anything that you're doing?
No, he's not, and I'm sure there's some outward hey, it's not, people look at bottom line numbers and they go to work with that. And but I mean, look, when a guy's taking good at bats and he's an accomplished guy in this league, you tend to go with him. Like I said, there's no reason, overly not to, like, if he's hitting weak ground balls and popping up and striking out a lot and not taking his walks, then clearly we would adjust. But he's putting good swings on the baseball.